Kelly was back in court today and has pleaded not guilty to 11 additional sex-related felonies. Here to break it all down is the Chicago journalist who's been reporting on the life and actions of R. Kelly for nearly 20 years. A new book out. It's called Soulless, the case against R. Kelly. Please welcome Jim DeRogatis. Jim, thanks for being here.
Sure. I wish it was under happier.
Yeah.
A happier topic
so now
to talk
you
about.
were in court or not in court this morning?
No, I let the kids do that now.
You've done enough. You have been covering
Yeah.
R. Kelly for 2 decades now.
Yeah.
What was the first thing that you learned about R. Kelly when you got the call about, hey, you need to investigate this?
The Wednesday before Thanksgiving 2000, I got an anonymous fax that laid out all the allegations, which were old by that point. Victim number 1, an incredibly brave woman named Tiffany Hawkins. He began a sexual contact with her at age 15 in 1991.
And he was how old at that time? She was 15?
He was 20, mid-20s.
Okay, mid-20s.
Yeah, he marries
15.
Aaliyah at 15. She's
Right.
15. He's 27. It was the worst kept secret in Chicago history.
Well, that's the thing. It was a secret, but it wasn't a secret.
Yeah.
You talk
Everybody
to people,
knew.
everybody knew. Hollywood stars knew, musicians
People
knew.
think I'm exaggerating when I say if we go to the South or West Side and talk to 3 African-American women, 2 will have stories about him cruising Kenwood Academy, or right. How many of you have heard these stories?
Yeah.
Right, the Evergreen Plaza Shopping Mall, the Rock and Roll McDonald's. I mean, and nobody cared. This entire city, the courts, the churches, journalism, all failed these young black
And
men.
that's one of the things you bring up in the book is that this is not just about R. Kelly. It's also about the corruption in Chicago and the fact that this is multi-layered. The fact that no one cares about black young women's lives as they do maybe others.
I am a fat white rock critic with a lot of tattoos.
Yes.
I have only ever echoed what now literally at this point 100 black women have said to me when I've said nobody matters less in our society than young black girls. And I mean, I never understood the difference about, why this black superstar who is a hero, who is a genius, who is 100 million records sold, the biggest force in R&B since Marvin Gaye, why he matters more than the names of 48 women whose names I know, whose lives he's ruined. And when I say ruined, that sounds hyperbolic too, but I've seen the slashes on their wrists where they tried to kill themselves after sexual contact beginning as a teenager with this man.
Right, well, for all those reasons is probably the reason why he was protected. Listen, I'm one of the biggest Michael Jackson fans, and I don't want to believe those allegations either, but different things are coming to light on that as well.
I understand it. This is your wedding song, Step in the Name of Love. This is your kid's graduation song, I Believe I Can Fly. It is part of our lives.
Right, so what happens now? What happens now?
I think the case in Illinois is exceedingly weak because it does not come close to scratching the surface of 30 years of crimes. The federal indictments are coming. I hear within weeks by the FBI, the IRS, the Department of Homeland Security, who are looking at sex trafficking, obstruction of justice, and violations of the Mann Act. That put Chuck Berry in jail for 5 years in the mid-50s, bringing teenagers for sexual purposes across state lines.
Okay, this will not be R. Kelly's first trial. We all know what happened in that first trial.
Acquitted.
Acquitted. And there was surmountable evidence in that trial, right?
That, I was living on Grace Street on the northwest side.
Exactly.
And that videotape, almost a half hour long, came to my mailbox at home. It was the most horrifying thing I've ever seen in my life.
So if he was acquitted of that and there was a tape, how confident are you that he will be acquitted this time around?
In I Admit, the 19-minute song he released a couple of months ago, he sings, I am a broke-ass legend. According to my source, in his career, he has earned $250 million. The reason he is a broke-ass legend is he had defense attorneys charging $850 an hour for the 6.5 years it took that first trial to go to court, and he has paid off, that I know of, 12 young women for underage sex. So he's broke because he has been preying on our young black girls for 1991. I can't underestimate that enough. 91.
Right. Jim, we're out of time, but I know you have 2 events coming up. Can you tell us quickly?
Yeah, I'm going to be reading with Abden Palish and the mighty Mary Mitchell of the Chicago Sun. They were my colleagues at the Sun-Times at the Hideout on Saturday, and the Chicago Humanities Festival with the women who started Mute R. Kelly. It took 2 Atlanta women to unite the young black women who've been crying out about this forever.
All right, thank you,
Jim
Jim.
DeRogatis.
Yep. Soulless, the case against R. Kelly is available now.